Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Game Chat Tonight with the Huber Rebels. My name is Ethan.
My name is Jordan.
This is episode number 15. We're going to hit some news and leaks and some ideas about kind of like the future of PlayStation and what they might have cooking over there. Um,
Can I tell you a
but to kick
story
it off,
first?
yeah, tell me a story. What have you got?
So, I don't know if you watch much esports,
Zero.
particularly Call of Duty esports. I actually did not watch much this year either. I have watched much more in the past, but I guess with the move and everything, I didn't get around to watching as much this year, but I tried. Um, so, in Call of Duty, the Call of Duty League this year, there were four majors and then champs, the final fifth tournament, right?
Yes.
So my boys, Optic,
Ah,
won Major 3,
okay.
which I think was the first time in a long time that they had won like an event, a tournament, a major like that. Big deal, very cool. Major 4 came in dead last,
Oh,
12th place. Completely crap the bed, terrible, awful. Don't know
any
what happened.
changes or just happened?
Not personnel wise. I don't know enough to know what they might have changed, like fine tuning or anything, but
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Just absolutely lost it. So they had enough points throughout the whole season that going into champs, they were still ranked, I think, third. So they were still, they started, or no, everyone started in the winners bracket that qualified for the final championship event and didn't lose a single match, went on to win the tournament
Undefeated.
in their home city, and
Oh, I love
Optic,
that.
for the first time in 11 years, are Call of Duty champions, and it was very cool.
That congrats to Optic.
Hell yeah.
Would I know anybody on that team?
No.
Okay. Um, uh, the champions are the ones who win the fifth one?
Yes. So, like, it is a very similar structure to the other ones, but it is just the culmination. Whoever wins this one is the champions. Every other event, every team goes to. The last
Yeah.
event, the championship event, only the top 8 teams in points throughout the season qualify
Ooh,
and go to that event.
where were they in points? They won one, so I'd assume they were pretty high.
Yeah, I think they were third, I think.
Oh yeah, that's solid. Yeah,
Yeah.
to go to win and go in last and still end up third. I don't know what they did in the first two. But yeah,
Usually
congrats.
they make it to like third or fourth. That's usually
Yeah.
they like make it one or two in the winners bracket, drop down to the losers bracket, make it like towards the end of losers, and then drop out. And that's basically been my experience watching them for the past 5 years. And of course, this year when I didn't really watch that much, they finally make it all the way. But
So I was gonna
whatever.
say I don't watch a lot of esports, but I did just see in the spirit of the Olympics that they're considering the IOC committee either already confirmed or are looking at adding e and making an esports Olympics, which
I did hear something about that.
like I'm kind of supportive of, but I'm also kind of not supportive of because
Um, okay, here's the thing.
like different
Please
games.
watch our next episode of the Hebrew Rebels podcast. It'll be episode 59. We're going to talk about events that should not be in the Olympics. If you want to hear our like official thoughts on this particular subject, but yeah, I'll just spoil this
Spoiler,
one. I do not think esports should be in the Olympics. No.
no video games in the Olympics.
Did
Sorry.
you know that esports used to be in the X Games?
I win.
Uh
Like they just tested it for a couple of years.
Maybe like let's see, Call of Duty X Games.
You should have put look, I would have been down for some Tony Hawk Pro Skater in the X Games, some Dave Mirra BMX, Pro BMX in the X Games. Sign me
2015
up
at
for some of that.
least. Maybe another year, but also I think Optic won gold in the X Games as well.
Good for
But
them.
should not be in the extreme sports tournament whatever
No,
weekend either because it's not an extreme sport.
it's not,
I will say
unfortunately.
it's a e-sport, but that's as far as
Yeah.
I'll go. and that's where it should stay. It's an electronic sport and should not be anywhere near other sports.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well,
Just to
time will tell.
clarify, earlier I said they haven't won a championship in 11 years. Last time they won was 2017, last and only time. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't falsify that statement. But anyways,
Two-time champs.
two-time, hell yeah. Anyways, very
Let me.
excited, very happy.
Who has the most championships? And don't
Uh,
actually look that up unless you know.
the league itself has changed so much throughout
Oh,
the last
teams. Yeah.
11 years. Like the foundation of the league has changed. Teams have been created and non-existed anymore. And I
Yeah.
don't. Let's see. So we have winners: Impact, Complexity, Denial, Envious, Optic, Evil Geniuses, E United. No one's ever won two. I know that for a fact. Dallas Empire,
Okay.
Atlanta FaZe, LA Thieves, New York Subliners, except for Texas.
It
They're the first ones to win two.
was that in order?
Yeah.
So they now have sports teams' names, but they started out just as emotions.
Yes. The teams
That's
used
what
to
it sounded like.
suck. They were terrible
Yeah.
back in the day. They
That's how it goes. Look at every major sport. That's how it goes for the
a
most part.
lot more money has been pumped into it in the last 5 years, obviously. So they
That'll do it.
have better brand presence and whatnot now. So
Yeah. I have a question for you.
yep.
Have you been seeing, do you guys see a lot of Cybertrucks near you?
You know what? As a matter of fact, yes. I have seen, I don't know, maybe at least 10. And we went to Costco last week and there were two in the same row of the parking lot.
Dude, these things are everywhere now.
I kind of can't believe it.
I thought like that. I was like, ooh, maybe I'll get one when it comes right when it comes out, and I'll be the only person around that has one, and everyone will think it's cool. No, no, no
Yeah,
one cares. Everybody
they're
has
not
one.
that rare to see anymore. And considering most people think they look ugly, it's like, oh, well, I feel bad for
Yeah,
that person almost.
it's not a great. No, I do not want one. Mainly just because, granted, this isn't a car podcast. It's more expensive and less powerful and kind of janky. I'm happy they exist.
Well,
They're a fun thing to see around, but
me too, but I mean, they're pretty shoddily made, right? Like,
yeah,
that sucks. That should not be the case.
yeah. I mean, that's Tesla. That's the biggest complaint about Tesla. They're a new car company, so I'll stick with the experienced companies. However, one place that I'm very excited to use the Cybertruck is in Fortnite. I think
Hell
that's
yeah.
perfect.
I have not yet
PS1
figured
graphics.
out how to get it. There's a lot of challenges to get like other Cybertruck related items, but I have not figured out yet
Really?
how to get the truck itself. But
Can you? It's Battle Royale, right? You can use it.
yeah, yeah. So we'll have to jump in and see how we can acquire one of those.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that.
But I feel like it's something you need to unlock so that you can make that your like preferred look
Car
for your car, I think.
in the game.
I think so, yeah.
I need that. If that's like limited or whatever, like I need that.
Yeah.
That 100%.
I'm almost certain
We'll
that's the
find
case
that out.
because there's another like skin that you can unlock that has the Cybertruck logo like graffitied on the side of it. It's really ugly.
Ooh,
But the
okay.
fact that that's
Yeah,
something you can acquire
perfect.
makes me think that this is like a style that you can apply to your Fortnite car, not just one that's like sitting in the map somewhere for a few months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that seems like pointless. I do have to ask, what color are the ones that you've seen?
All silver, except I saw one that had been wrapped to like promote this guy's business, and it actually was really cool. Like it was silver, and then it had like a lime green stripe, and then the whole
Oh,
back part of the truck was almost black, like a darker gray, and it had the
yeah,
words and stuff on it. It was really well done, but other than that, they've all been
that's
silver.
crazy. So there's most of the ones I see are silver, but I want to say I've seen a purple one, and now I've seen one multiple times, so they're clearly nearby a hot pink one.
That is LA. LA is where you will see all of the crazy colorful Teslas. You will
Okay.
see I always wanted to have a folder on my phone that was Teslas
Oh
of the
yeah,
rainbow for every single color I've seen because I've seen them all. I don't
That's
see
true.
that
Even like
at
the
all here.
Ys and the X's and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, car culture alive and strong here.
yeah, I love that though.
Anyway, so
Teslas,
we'll have to
honestly,
see it.
like the Model S and whatnot, are one of the few cars that I think look good in those very extreme colors.
Mm-hmm. Because they're clean.
Yeah,
They're not like busy with the crazy colors. It's just like pop.
yeah,
That's my take.
I agree.
Moving on. I know I sent this over to you. Nintendo announced and released a series of controller like fidget devices.
Yeah,
So there's that are like keychains, I believe, and they have like the Super Nintendo buttons. They have one with the Nintendo 64 buttons, the GameCube buttons, and then they have the GameCube C stick, the N64 joystick, and then they have all like the OG like NES, Famicom versions of all and stuff of all that too. And
I
I have to say,
love
yeah,
these.
they're amazing.
I'm shocked that it's taken this long to get something like this. I never thought of it, but now that I see it, I'm
Never,
like, why have we not had this before? When are we going to get Xbox ones and PlayStation ones? They need to all exist
hopefully. I, and they need to bring them here, and they need to make a lot of them. So they just launched in Japan, and immediately the lines were out the door.
because they're
Like
in
everybody,
gotcha machines.
yeah. Oh, I didn't
Oh,
think about that. Oh, that's bad. You can't just go pick one.
no.
Oh my goodness, I want to collect them all.
Me too. And that being said, no matter what I get, I wouldn't be disappointed. But
Yeah, same.
I mean, you've been to Japan. I've heard how crazy they are with their vending machines. Like, do you remember seeing a lot of
I
them?
didn't. Yes and oh, not like game ones, but like everything comes in a vending machine.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
just stuff. That's just how they kind of store stuff, and it must be there's like an economy for that. Um, but I really hope they bring these. Even if it's so there's the Nintendo Store in New York, which I went to, which I don't know if I talked about that. I happy I went. It's a little underwhelming. I wish they were out of like the one shirt that I wanted.
Yeah.
There's like other shirt. Um, but I don't know. I just want bigger and more.
Right.
They and did announce they're opening a store in San Francisco.
Yes.
That'll be the number two store. I
God,
don't know why they're not doing it here in LA at Universal, but hopefully one day.
I would never want to live there, but San Francisco sounds more and more and more like such an awesome place to go visit for a couple days. I've been there once with my parents. We went to the Walt Disney Museum, I think it was, which was very cool.
Oh, cool.
Um, and the city just looks awesome, but there's so many cool things to do there. I really want to go back.
San Francisco's top iconic city. I think I've been twice. Um, Second time with my mom, did more touristy stuff, and yeah, it's not in great shape right now.
Yeah,
Granted, I don't know. I'm sure it's actually fine if you just go up there, just stick to certain areas.
right.
But yeah,
Like
I want to
most
go up.
places.
Exactly. Like everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a city. But yeah, I'm hopefully one day can just take the train up there
Oh, hell yeah.
for a good price in a few hours. No flying or driving or anything. Oh,
Do you
that would be
think,
amazing.
I know we're all over the place on this podcast, but do you think if
Yes.
Elon moves to Texas like he says he's going to, the
Yeah.
companies, will he
hmm
still work on building like a rail and a train like that in LA, do you think? Or is he going to be like, nah, screw you?
Oh, he doesn't build trains. That's a talk
Tunnels.
for another.
He's not doing that?
Forget him. No, I
No.
don't. He's doing it in Vegas. They're doing it in Vegas. They're building all the loop in Vegas. But
There has
we
to
can
be
talk
more
about that.
places to do it than Vegas.
It hasn't been proven, and it's building tunnels is the most expensive thing.
Sure.
We can do an infrastructure and urban design segment on the Cuba Rebels
Sure.
podcast. Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love that. Before we move
I have
on, which one
many
of these fidget
thoughts.
things do you want the most?
Uh, so the most would probably be the N64 buttons, number one, and then I think I'm torn on like the GameCube buttons or the GameCube C stick. Because I want like a joystick and I want buttons, but I mean I want all the N64 stuff naturally.
I feel like the GameCube buttons would be the most satisfying to press, and then I definitely want a joystick. And I've only ever had the GameCube, so I would. No, I feel like the N64 joystick would be more fun to play with as well.
First ever joystick
The
on a
C
game
stick is
controller.
so small.
And it's like interesting. Um, those N64 buttons are probably the buttons I've clicked more than any other button in
Yeah,
existence.
that's
I
awesome.
think I would assume. Um,
What if it had like the
uh,
Z button on the back? One of them. That'd be cool.
uh, okay, crazy. Okay, so here's the other thing. It turns out these are official buttons. Like you can take this off and replace the parts on your official controllers.
Okay.
They confirmed. Like these are the originals. Like which just gets me so excited of like, yeah, can you guys just keep making all your OG stuff
Yeah,
for like the enthusiasts? And it's cool that they still can. So I love that they're doing this.
I love it.
Um,
I was just gonna say, I kind of doubt that we'll see them like purchasable anytime soon, but I'm gonna keep checking eBay and see if there's a
do
reasonable
it.
price I can pay for some of these, so that at least we don't have to, do the random gotcha
Are
kind
they
of
on there
machine.
yet?
I looked the day you sent it and I didn't see them, and I haven't looked since, but I'll keep checking back.
They haven't. Yeah, they weren't out yet. That was just the initial announcement. But
Yeah.
yeah, let me know if you see that. Send it my way. One other Nintendo thing I did see. So I don't know if you remember when we went to Japan. I went by the founding place of Nintendo, where they have the plaque on the door, and it was like Nintendo Limited Company, 1889 or whatever.
Yeah.
They turned it into a five-star hotel.
Wow.
It was just like maybe a random office, but and they kept that plaque, but somebody bought it and converted it into like this insanely nice five-star hotel, and it has like Nintendo memorabilia. I'm pretty
Oh
sure, like in
wow.
all the rooms and stuff. It's called like the Marufuku Hotel or something. I will definitely be staying there at least one night.
Maro Fukuro
There it
in
is.
Kyoto.
Yes,
Very cool.
it's
I
awesome.
love this.
Yeah, it's such a good legacy for that building. I felt like it was underutilized. Like I was there and I was like, nobody even knows like what's going on here. This is like dead.
I'm so sorry. But for some reason, everything we've talked about tonight is making me think of something else. But this is genius. I think this is a great way
Yes.
to pay homage to something and turn it into a nice place to go and stay.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've seen anything about the Star Wars cruise liner, or
Oh
whatever it's
yeah.
called, the Galactic
There's
Cruise Liner.
there's a 4 hour
Watched
tell
it.
all on YouTube that I haven't watched yet that I have
It's
in my watch later.
amazing. Jenny
Yeah, and they're
Nicholson
like going
is
after her.
amazing. They suck. They can go to hell
Yeah,
because their
yeah.
product was terrible.
It was horrible. I
Terrible.
mean, I know we both said like we'll do this no matter what. I read two. Levin had also told me I read two previews and I was like, I'm never doing this.
We
Quick,
weren't.
everybody huddle around this person as we shift through the middle of the room. Did they talk about that as like one of the
Uh,
activities?
I don't
You
remember
literally
that
just huddle
specifically,
around and
but
like shift across the room.
I mean, I at least, if not, we were not in a position to do it. But thank God we didn't. If we could have,
Yeah,
because I would have felt like we burned, whatever, $3,000 each or however much money.
yeah.
Such a waste. But
I don't know
this
why
looks
they.
awesome.
Yeah, they're also. I rumors they're pivoting that hotel, so they might turn it into something decent.
That's fine. Good.
Yeah,
Use the space at least, but don't make it seem like you're sending us on this interactive, immersive Star Wars experience. It's bad Disney experience at best.
yeah, yeah. And I don't even know what it is at worst.
Ex- Yeah, somebody's nightmare.
Um, yeah. A cool. So Comic Con is happening this weekend. And Dark Horse Comics may have accidentally spoiled something that may or may not get announced this weekend. So I guess people took pictures. There's some like displays, and there's like a figure of the original like so if you've ever heard Legacy of Kain, this is like I would call it a cult hit from the PS1 days. I never played it. This is like top of the list of games that people want like remastered slash remade because it's not either really like accessible or playable or known now. And there's a little figurine, and it literally says Legacy of Kain Remastered 1 and 2. Like just on this, like in like official
Like,
print and everything.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, there's no way this isn't it. So there's probably an announcement coming imminently. Um, Fun fact: these games were directed by Amy Hennig, who is like
Oh,
goat level in the industry. Uncharted, um, blanking on. She's working on the Black
Marvel.
Panther Marvel game.
Yeah.
Uh, I really want to play these games, and I hope this is real and comes out and is well received.
I was gonna say it seems like maybe the whole remastered thing was like stuck in the metadata or something that someone didn't realize. And you know how like a product at a store, it'll have like the name and then the description down below. I guess I'm thinking of like
Yeah.
Bethma where it like explains it. They just didn't realize it was in that part. No, no, it's just in the logo. Soul
Oh,
Reaver one and
it's
two
a
remat. Like it is.
design.
It's a bad mistake if it is one.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
That's so
Um,
funny.
and it makes sense. Embracer Group, who I think now owns Crystal Dynamics, they have previously said they're working on like remasters and stuff. So Crystal Dynamics, I think originally made this game, and they just did the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 like remaster, where they took like those OG PlayStation 1 games, kept them pretty much the same, but like improved like some of the controls and some of the graphics and some of the and like the lighting, but it still has that original like vibe. I like this direction for like rather than just ground up, looks completely different. Reimagining from scratch. So fingers crossed. I'm excited for this one.
I hope this doesn't, you know, hurt anybody that this has been leaked. Me personally, I like this kind of leak. I think this is cool. It's kind of a fun, honest mistake that people can be excited about, and you know, as long as it doesn't harm them in any way, I think this is kind of a fun accidental reveal.
If anything, it just starts the hype train
Yeah,
building up even bigger than it
if
could have been.
if anything, it was intentional.
The guerrilla marketing that we've talked about.
Yeah,
So we've been playing Fallout.
yeah.
It's one of the only games we've talked about because we've been so busy. I don't know. Have you been playing anything else?
Uh, Dreamlight Valley.
Okay.
I haven't actually talked
Another
about that on
Infinite
this show
game.
yet. I don't think, but
We can talk about it next week,
I'll save
or you
it.
can talk about it today.
No, no, no. It's okay. I can talk about it any week because I'll keep playing it.
Well, Fallout London. Do you know what this is?
Yes, but you will probably be able to explain it better than I can.
So I only recently learned about this. This is a fan-made project. We've always, I think, people have always been like, man, imagine a Fallout like somewhere else. Well, these guys were like, we want to do it in London. And they've been working on this thing for years. When Bethesda announced the Fallout 4 PS5 update, it was like they were days away from finally releasing this like massive full game mod, and the update broke it. Like completely broke
No
it. I
way.
believe completely broke it, like the entire thing. So I believe what they've done is found a way to like backload an old update to just make it work. Um,
I was gonna say that. I
and
feel
I
like they
think that's
scrambled and made it work pretty quickly, considering
yeah. I mean, this was like could have been a dead project, and they built like all of London, like massively.
it looks amazing.
It really does look amazing. I thought it was really cool. I was like, this is awesome. This is not to throw shade, but I no longer am interested in playing it. I think it's a fun idea, but funnily enough, since the show came out and since there was a Todd Howard interview. They asked, "Would you ever do a Fallout in another place?" And he said, "No, because Fallout is all about Americana."
Yes.
And now we're in London. And so I'm like, in the past, I was like, oh, they just don't want to make one. But this is cool. Someone made it. So now that it fits, there's no vaults in London.
I,
Or,
no, that's the thing. Well, at first I was thinking, why wouldn't this be a thing? But you're right. It's only the places where Vault Tech deemed they should put vaults that are going to have people that are, living and inhabiting these cities. And they probably didn't have those in London. They might have. We don't know. But they probably did not.
now I'm assuming this is not what they did, but I did just consider the thought of putting a vault in London and filling it with Americans. Because
Oh,
spoiler alert,
yeah.
spoiler alert,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, what we learned and the reason why I was like this isn't possible, the show, the intention that's been hinted at is that they wanted to wipe the planet and rebuild it just with America.
All America.
So
Yeah.
that would be a way to do it. I'm assuming that this will be a British vault
What?
with British people.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the vault. The whole VO of the trailer is a British dude. And
Yeah.
if these people wanted to make this badly and make a London Fallout, I think it'd be weird if they were all Americans.
Yeah.
I think they should have British people. I think this is super super awesome and fun as like a
100%. I
fan
love it.
project. What's it called? I don't know what I'm thinking of. But, like Star Wars Legends kind
Oh,
of
like
material.
expanded universe.
Yes. I
Yeah.
this is super fun. I would love to just see what Fallout looks like in other places, and this does that for
Exactly.
me. So props to
Well,
these guys. I think it's awesome. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to play it, especially if it's a mod. I'm sure I can't figure out how to jankily do this, but I love that
I
it
will
exists.
add, I will add that we also learned that it didn't really work. Their plan. Not everybody died. Not
Right.
everything was destroyed. So for most of it, it's plausible.
Oh yeah.
Like, so it in that sense, like I'm not trying to write this off. I just like feel a little bit weirder about it in terms of the lore and the canon. Uh, but yeah, super cool idea of like exploring London and also like props and super impressive that fans pulled this off. Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it became their full-time job. Like this is incredible. Like they have everything. I went on their website a while back and like they've got like I believe voice acting, they've got characters, they've got enemies, they've got all the borough or not boroughs, but all the neighborhoods of London. Very cool.
And
Congrats.
Bethesda, I think more than almost anybody loves like mod support, right? They
Hmm.
love being able to implement whatever people want to make and create for their games. So even though they don't want to make Fallout somewhere else, I'm sure they're
Yep.
impressed and happy that this exists.
I'm sure they'll play it.
Yeah. It
They're fans as much as anybody.
it looks like it was done with the utmost love and care. So good for them.
I'm definitely growing on my Bethesda game. I'm excited to get back to Starfield one day. Once I wrap up Fallout, play some other stuff, and they continue to update Starfield. I believe the last mod or expansion update, whatever, got like high praises. And it's rumored that land vehicles will be next. And I'll be honest, that one was a big one for me because I was like, "Do you want me to just fly, land my ship, and walk across a planet? Like
I
that
can't
doesn't
believe
really
that.
make a lot of sense." But I understand like technically you weren't able to get it in there yet. Uh,
That seems like one of the first things I would think.
yeah.
Mobility,
Even
you
if
know?
it's they're like, yeah, you just land somewhere over there again. And I'm like, okay, technically, yes, we could do that. Um, it's amazing how these games are evolving. Like even No Man's Sky did it, all the stuff that they didn't have in
Yeah.
at first, and they now have everything. Uh, so one day I'll beat Starfield. Hopefully not too long from now.
You asked what I'm playing, and I think next month or the next 2 months, we have two big games coming out that I'm gonna be playing. So
Um,
I need to wrap something up, hopefully soon. Otherwise, it's gonna get shelved again.
And what are those? Outlaws?
And Astrobot.
Oh my God. How far are we from Outlaws? Weeks?
Um, I
Are we
want to
like
say
2 weeks
Outlaws
away?
comes out like when you'll be. Yep, it comes out the day after you arrive here in
Wow.
Chicago. And Astrobot. I don't remember when Astrobot is. Let's
Early
see.
September.
September. Yeah, the next week. Oh my god. Okay.
And that's why I look, I want to play all these games at launch. I just can't do it. I will get to them when I get to them.
Those two have
Else.
very, very high priority for me, though.
Yeah. No,
Like,
you do it. Go for it. That way you can talk about it.
I think,
I'm lagging a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Like, I'll probably play Outlaws as much as I can until Astrobot, and then I will full send Astrobot and then go back to Outlaws. But I
Yeah,
so
that's not
badly want
bad.
to play Astrobot.
Outlaws will be a long play too.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
I, I I'm currently trying to rework my schedule to find time for actually sitting down and playing these massive games. Um, so fingers crossed I can figure out how to get, I don't know, 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week
Yeah.
to start moving through these. Currently at zero, so I'll find a way.
I
I'm just gonna
forgot
have
I'm
to
playing
start taking
Hades
days off
too.
work.
I gotta go back
Oh,
and
nice,
finish
nice.
that. It's hard, man.
I know that's why I paused on it because I was like, okay, I just hit a wall and I'm not ready to like push through the wall.
Did I tell you I
Um,
got to the final boss?
I think you did, and you said he was just so insane that you were just like, I don't even know what to do.
Oh no, wait. Never mind. I can't say anything. Yeah.
Because
I
you start over every time. I know the whole point is you're learning and you are getting upgrades and stuff, but
yeah.
when I get really far and then on the next one I don't, it's defeating.
I know. I
I'll
keep
get through it.
realizing things though that like I need
Yeah,
you have to use all of the weapons because they all earn you things that help you upgrade the weapon you want, which sucks.
and
And that's
that's
going
what
to make it
I
take
figured.
longer.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
little bit grindy. Like every time I die, I'm like, I don't want to spend another hour on another run. So then I'll
That's
do it
where I'm
tomorrow.
at.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I think is a good way of balancing it. Where
Yeah.
you can like just put it down and come back to it. I'm happy I pushed you to play it. I told you it was fun.
It's great. I love it. And
Yeah.
whenever, I don't know, Hades 2 officially comes out, whenever that is, like I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. But
Yeah. I'm happy you reminded me because I've been grinding Mario Golf and all I want is for it to be over. I got all 108 stars, birdie on every hole and every course. The last course is insane. It's like the Mario one, and it's not golf. It's just giant. The course is like a giant character, like Peach, and there's just like curves of fairway, and then just rough and bunkers everywhere. So you literally have to pinpoint land it on exact spots, which
is
means
it
you
the
have to get
one is it the one where it looks like all the characters?
each hole is like a different character.
Okay.
Just if you want to look it up, you can look up Mario Golf 64 for 6 holes. That should show you them. I love how hard the game is. I had to like I saved on each hole and then I was just like even getting through those 18 holes it like was like grinding to get a birdie on because you have to have perfect shots. Where
Yeah.
it's like it'll be like a sloped green and the holes here an 18-mile-an-hour wind and there's rough right before so you have to hit it just after the rough where it doesn't roll too far to get close enough to make a not too insane putt. I loved the challenge and it was like could do that while I was watching something. But the last thing I have to do and the reason I needed to unlock Metal Mario because he has the best drive in the game. I can't beat Bowser. I can't beat him. He's insane. I'll finally hit a better shot and I'll be like 8 feet from the hole and I'll get my birdie or I'll be ready to get my birdie, and he's 65 feet from the hole and
Yeah.
makes it. And I'm just like, this is insane.
I don't. Well, it was Star Wars Racer Revenge, where you unlocked all the secret characters that were just like max level. But
You tell me.
by the time you unlock one, you have to use that one to unlock the other four or five that are all the
Okay.
exact same. So like, and you never get the satisfaction of like leveling up
Okay.
and then getting that last great one. And then it's like, even when you get the last one, what do I do now? Go play it
Yeah.
again and just kick everyone's ass again? I already did that 5 times to get to this point.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about sounds much more rewarding. I also didn't realize you
Oh,
were playing Mario Golf 64. I thought you were playing like the most recent one.
no, Mario Bros. 64, baby. I think it's better than the new one is like too easy. Everything's like it's just too easy. This one is like, man, it's hard. You got to hit perfect shots and really like mess with like the strategy. I like when it's a little bit more challenging like that. Then just hit a shot and everybody does it, but I don't know.
Hell
Anyways,
yeah.
we're gonna take a quick break and then we're gonna come back and talk about some PlayStation leaks and rumors and kind of what we want to see for the next end of the PS5. So we'll be right back.
If you like what we do, we'd really appreciate if you'd consider supporting us on Patreon. Now more than ever, small independent teams need all the help they can get, and we'd love to have you join the rebellion.
Joining us on Patreon can get you a wide array of perks, starting with our 1-star tier. Joining this tier will get you voting rights for Movie Madness, our weekly journey through an actor's entire filmography.
Our 2-star tier will give you extended episodes of the Huber Rebels podcast, Game Chat Tonight, and Movie Madness, both ad-free and a day early. Plus, you can write into those shows for a chance to have your questions and comments read on the podcast.
The 3-star tier delivers the most value with our Patreon exclusive shows. You will get a monthly episode of Crossword Struggle and Climbing the Ranks, and we have more exclusive shows planned to add even more value to this tier.
Next, as a 4-star rebel, your name will be listed in an on-screen shoutout on each of our weekly scheduled shows.
Finally, you can be one of only 24 people to be considered a Founding Rebel. You will receive a limited edition Founding Rebel t-shirt. Your name will be read on each of our shows as a Founding Rebel, and you will forever be remembered as one of the very few people to truly help start the rebellion.
Visit patreon.com/HuberRebels for more information. Thank you so much for your support, and back to the show.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for checking out our Patreon read. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel like supporting us and helping us to achieve our goals. We appreciate it. We've got a couple leaks to talk about. First off, I want to say PlayStation's been kind of weak this generation. I wouldn't
Yeah?
say bad, but I was thinking about it. And granted, we're 4 years in, almost 4 full years in. And if I think back to 4 full years in to the PS4, that would put us at fall of 2017. And at that point, I want to say there was like Bloodborne, Horizon. Yeah, actually, no, I take it back. They kind of hit at the end of it, didn't they?
God of War
It
was
was only
knocking on the door. It was around the corner.
Yep.
Death Stranding was around the corner. That's not PlayStation. Yeah, it is,
But
right?
yeah, it is. Spider-Man wasn't until later in 2018,
Right.
and then Ghost and Last of Us 2 were both 2020. And I don't even know what was in 2019.
But those were PS4 games, right? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah, I know because they came out right before the PS5, which gives this
Yeah,
like weird
it would be nice if they were
middle.
able to more straddle the generational step with the big releases so that you get like 2 per generation kind of, you know? Like
Yeah, I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
no. I mean that's all. I guess maybe. You know, let's say Last of Us 2 came out on both PS4 and PS5 and then Last of Us 3 comes out at the end of the PS5. Is that better than, I mean, Last of Us 3 is not going to come out in the middle of this generation, but is that better than Ghost of Tsushima coming out in PS4, Ghost of Tsushima 2 coming out in the middle of PS5? Like, is it better than just one per? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's better. And the more I think about it, like we've already gotten Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Demon Souls was cool, Blue Point. We're gonna talk about them. I guess maybe because it's all like the same. It's not like not new stuff, right? It's like another Ratchet and Clank. Granted, the other one was it just felt fresher. Not hating on the new one that I still haven't played, that I want to play. But what got me thinking on this, even God of War, right, was like more God of War, even though it was better and excellent and amazing. It just feels different, I guess. Contrast that with Nintendo, where you're getting a completely reinvented Breath of the Wild. You're getting a pretty fresh Mario Odyssey and just fresh takes on like a lot of their franchises. Again, not a bad thing.
They kind of like to do like this generation's version of all of our tent poles. Kind of.
Nintendo?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're doing now. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do a good job of like differentiating. Um, Again, I'm not saying any of this is good or bad, but it had me feeling away and it had me thinking with this latest potential PlayStation Studios Malaysia leak. There's a video with some like concept art in it. And what I was doing, I was looking at the concept art and it really got me. I was like, this looks cool. Like this looks different. This looks fresh. And it's described as desert fantasy, which is not a combination that I can say that I've heard.
Right.
And I'm like, this is what we're waiting for. Because honestly, when Ghost of Tsushima came out, like I remember when I was hyping that up, I was like, this is the game we've been wanting. Like we haven't had this, like a feudal type Japan, gorgeous open world game. I feel like we've had like 3 or 4 of those now. We're getting
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed. Like I want more Ghost, but I just this sounds very exciting. Blue Point is incredible with what they've done. This is their first original IP. This is by no means confirmed, but hopefully next year, PlayStation has some cool stuff they're going to show us. I mean, Astrobot, boom. That's kind of to me what I think will be the kickoff of this next wave of
True.
excitement.
Yeah. So this is a new IP, seemingly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
and
It
there was
almost
a a leak before. Almost what?
it almost seems almost too late to introduce a new IP. I feel like anytime they are introducing a new IP, it takes years from announcement for that thing to actually come out. So I feel like whatever this is already running out of time to be a PS5 game. Just the way things have gone, I feel
Oh,
like. But
I think we could get a reveal later this year for release next year, leveraged by PS5 Pro, and it'll have a few years to grow with. But I do get what you're kind of getting
yeah,
at
because
there.
I mean, doesn't it seem like even if it's an IP that we know, no. I mean, let's just say, Death Stranding. I feel like
Ghost of
we
Tsushima.
saw for 3 years. You knew about Ghost of
Oh,
Tsushima for years leading up to it. You know?
I get what you mean. I think things have changed since then.
Yeah.
I think things have changed since then because there's other games that we know about that are just like MIA, and people are like, what even is this at this point? And if they truly have something ready and it shows well and is legit, it won't matter at the end of the day, and people will love it. But it could just be like a culture shift in how games are revealed and shown that we're feeling. Because I PlayStation hasn't shown anything.
Yeah.
It must be because they want to shorten that marketing window.
Which I do like. I don't like as long
Yeah.
of a wait for these things. So if they're trying to do that, then that's good.
I did also see something. I believe the PS5 is significantly trailing the PS4 sales at this point in the life cycle,
Really.
which I fully expected. It's more expensive. Um, it's less of a jump off of the like the PS3, right? That was such like a island. The PS4 was like just a much better overall system. Plus, a ton of stuff is still backwards compatible. You can
Right.
play Valhalla, you can play Forbidden West, and maybe that's the feeling that I'm having, where like none of those games were playable on PS3.
Right.
Spider-Man was not playable on PS3. All of these, maybe Bar Spider-Man, I think that might be the first exclusive, but all of these, almost all the exclusives this gen have been playable on PS4. Not a
Also,
bad thing.
the shortage at the beginning of the PS5 could have played into it too, right? It was really hard to get one, which made it slower in terms of sales, I would think.
COVID and the chip shortage, I think, really just screwed up this generation. Also with game development and everything, so it's just been kind of in a weird spot. Easy for us to complain.
Right.
Uh, but I think it'll be fine. I think everything seems to be pointing to PS5 Pro's on its way. There's a No Man's Sky leak, and somebody found it with the latest update in the files, like stuff for the Pro. So that thing is still alive and well. Um, and I don't know, we'll be here for it. It's not like I've had time to play any of this.
I
Anyways,
wonder I wonder what combing through game files is like. Like, is someone actually reading all of the code, or do they just open it and like control F for things that might be interesting? Not literally that. I'm sure there's a more difficult way of actually doing that, but that kind of process of, direct searching for something that they want to see is in the code, or they really have to like sift through every single piece of data to find something interesting.
that's really funny, and I want to like look into how that's done now.
Yeah. It
Like
always
the
felt so intrusive.
Oh, it is. The some of this was apparently in the Insomniac leak. I never looked into the
Yeah,
Insomniac leak, but that was a terabyte of data, 1.7 million files.
man.
Where do you start?
Yeah, right.
Where do you start?
Oh my god.
I probably shouldn't. Do you know anything about that was mentioned in that? Because I saw people had it broken down, linked, and I just saw like the upcoming games.
I think I
I didn't
remember hearing
look
the
at
like
anything.
broad headlines from that. I heard them. I actually don't remember them now at this point, so maybe that's a good thing. But
Oh, I was going to tell you,
tell
but
me,
should
it's
I
fine.
not?
I don't care. I don't care.
So it was like Wolverine,
Yeah,
Venom. So like a Venom game, which like sign me up. That sounds incredible.
yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, like 2029, and X-Men.
Is it weird that Insomniac's doing so much? I'll just say superheroes,
Marvel.
but Marvel specifically.
They nailed it. They're tapping them.
I mean, Venom makes a ton of sense, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll see about Wolverine. X-Men seems too broad for
I agree. I don't
Insomniac.
know how they're good. That's the one that was really interesting to me. But we'll see.
I can see
Maybe it's
Wolverine feeling fantastic.
oh yeah. Just
Like he's
hit up some
heavy
people with
and your
some claws.
punches, you can
Yeah.
feel your claws going into people. Like that's going to feel really good.
Oof.
But
And
all
that's an
of
M game, I think.
yeah, I hope so. It's going to be it needs to
Yeah.
be bloody.
Yeah.
Logan and Deadpool and Wolverine has shown that you should not hold. I was gonna say Hugh Jackman. Obviously, Hugh Jackman's not gonna be in this Insomniac game, but that personification
He should be.
of Wolverine back.
Maybe he needs to be in that game, actually.
It's probably gonna be Troy Baker. Who knows?
Oh God, seriously.
He could probably do it.
Um, the he can do everything at this
Yeah,
point. He did
yeah.
Indiana Jones.
I know he's great.
He did Harrison Ford
Yeah. Oh yes,
being Indiana
yes,
Jones.
exactly. I
Like
forget. Is he GTA
incredible.
6 or is that not? Was that not
No,
true?
none of that is confirmed.
It okay.
No, none of that. I doubt it. They'd
Yeah.
like to go with low name people.
Right.
They don't do the celebrity thing anymore. Um, so we've got Blue Point coming up. We've got all these Insomniac games. We're gonna get Ghost at some point. Bend is working on something. The Days Gone people. We got all these Concord and Marathon and more Destiny probably. All these I can't think of what they're called. Live service games,
Yeah.
which they've I'm pretty sure been actively shutting down. So this will definitely just be a short era. Another game that's rumored for reveal later this year, Twisted Metal, which I never watched the show. Did you watch the show?
No, I wanted to, and
I heard it's
it
fun.
just kept getting put. Yeah, I'm sure it's fun is a good word to
Yeah.
use for it, but there was too many other things that took priority, and I may get to it at some point if for some reason I'm like I am interested in Twisted Metal, but I know nothing about it, so I never really got latched on.
Horror combat.
Yeah, which
It
sounds
was
up
never
my
really my
alley.
thing. Yeah, if it was free to play, maybe. But there's another game that is rumored that, like, God, I think we may have talked about this before.
We talked about it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God, I really hope this is real. I'll let you tell me about it.
Well, you'll need to tell me what the like leak or the rumor is, but a what
Just that it's being made by Lucid Games.
a
I don't think there's
potential
anything more than that.
new Motorstorm game, which honestly would shock me. I don't feel like it was big enough that people would be clamoring for another Motorstorm, but I think that was one of the first games I had on PS3. Like
It was I think it was one of the launch games.
yeah, I feel like I went home with NBA 07, which had Kobe on the
Yes.
cover, I
Kobe.
think, and
Yeah.
Motorstorm. I remember playing Motorstorm at Best Buy. I played the crap out of it at home. I think there were 3 games in total. I had them all. I loved that game.
Yeah. Oh, I got one for free. The Apocalypse one from some
Ye-
like Call of Duty thing,
Oh, really?
like a rebate, and they gave it to me for free. I must have that somewhere.
That's
I
cool.
must, but I don't think I do.
Dude,
Oh well.
Motorstorm I think would kill right now because
Yes. No.
racing games have not died down at all. And I feel like
No.
those games felt really good. The cars had a weight and a feel to them that was better than
They
most. Yeah.
So it was like more grounded and gritty. So I have two thoughts about Motorstorm. One is I think of like Forza Horizon. They have Gran Turismo. This could be like a Forza Horizon open world arcadey type
Oh,
tentpole for them.
yeah.
Like switch it up, right? And like do it a little bit differently, like than they used to. Of just the linear races. They could still do that, but maybe they go open world this time. But two, the thing that I really, really want is for it to look in real time how the original CG trailer looked. Because obviously the graphics weren't capable. They were good, but they weren't quite that original like CG like what we imagine it. Oh, and it would 100% on a PS5 or a PS5 Pro be gorgeous with the
Yeah.
dust and just the destruction and everything. Yeah, this is I would play Motorstorm. I'm not big on racing games, but that's one that I would play.
100%. I loved how kind of open each track was too. Like you could kind of
Hmm.
there were lanes and you could transfer
Yes.
between them and like you weren't that restricted in Motorstorm at all. And I was just watching a video of it here. I forgot you could like bail off of things like it would throw you off your bike or out of the car and stuff. It
Yeah.
was so much
It,
fun.
yeah, it kind of already was like semi open. So if that would be maybe a good transition for them.
Oh yeah, you comparing it to a Forza Horizon I think would be brilliant for something like this. Ah,
Lucid Games. What have they done? What are they known for? I'm blanking. Destruction All Stars, I believe,
okay. I'm not
is what I remember
familiar.
reading.
Let me see if I can pull this up quickly. Um, why is Sea of Thieves on here? Is that true?
No, maybe they helped port it
Right.
to
Switchblade?
PS5.
No,
Don't
okay,
know.
I see the lane I should be looking in. Okay. Happy Happy Donuts? Jacoby Jones and the Bigfoot mystery. I'm sorry, didn't Jacoby Jones just die?
Different Jacoby Jones?
It must be, but also, what are the odds of that? Jacoby Jones, former Raven and Charger, just died a few days ago, but also there's a game called Jacoby Jones. That's really
Yeah, I
weird.
don't know. Okay, you're really going through like, yeah,
I'm doing the ones that
Jacob
say published
Jones.
by Lucid. Santa's Magic
Ja-
Sack.
Jacob Jones.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
He's on your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, going to the bottom. Yes, they were a support studio apparently for Sea of Thieves, but yes, they made Destruction All Stars.
Okay.
Yeah, Happy Donuts. I don't know what that is.
Goat Simulator.
This is a weird collection of games.
I can't tell which ones are them and which one they were only like a contributor for.
They helped port iFruit. Oh my God, that was the GTA app.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking Fruit Ninja, but
That's hilarious. Wow.
that's so I didn't even know that had like that was on somebody's thing. Wow. Okay. Well, do Motorstorm. Sure, why not? Can't be that hard.
Or
Oh, I really want to play Motorstorm now.
maybe Bluepoint can do Motorstorm also. Just let them do everything.
Okay, Jordan.
What?
One of my favorite YouTube channels. Not, yeah, I'll say one of my favorite YouTube channels. It's like gamers, but with the A as a V, and they do like documentaries. I recently they were like, we're in danger of shutting down. The guy has like a real iconic deep voice, and we need you, and we're switching our thing, and yada yada yada. Well, they have a new video from 1 week ago, and it's the rise and fall of Motorstorm, 45
Hell yeah.
minutes.
Hell yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch that.
Okay, cool.
It's a real good monotone, and they just go through the entire history, and they do a really good job of
Very matter of
putting it all
fact.
together. They just nail like the essence of it. So shout out to that channel
I
if you
mean,
like gaming documentaries.
I will for sure watch that. The fact that there was one, two, three, there were
And
four Motorstorm games
mobile one.
and a yeah means
So
it was pretty successful, more than I thought. But
I loaded up the video, and it says this video was made possible by you, Patreon. So they must have been able to figure it out. They have 536,000 subscribers. Uh, they did not have that many when I started watching these. That's
wow,
crazy. Good for them.
that's cool.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
half of what I've
Like,
learned about half of what I've learned about games is like from finding channels like this and like just learning about every franchise.
yeah. Speaking of subscribers, this is my shtick today. Apparently, is just bouncing off of one subject onto a related one. You're familiar with PewDiePie, right?
Yeah, he's a cutie pie.
I remember when he was in his like battle with the like Indian music video channel to be like the number one subscribed channel on YouTube, and he
Yeah.
eventually beat them. I forget what they were called. And then I remember he like passed 100 million subscribers. He was far and away the most subscribed person on YouTube. Well, I've been seeing things about Mr. Beast lately in the news, and it led me to pull up his channel again just because I'm always curious what his channel looks like. It's fascinating. Let me just be perfectly accurate here when I say this. 306 million subscribers. Blew PewDiePie
And
out
on
of
that
the water, out of nowhere.
on that depressing note, please help us by subscribing. We don't need 306 million
What the
subscribers,
hell?
but we would like not just to have subscribers for subscribers' sake, but I don't know. We like doing this. We want to keep doing this. We want to get better at doing this continually. So we appreciate any feedback we get on our crazy adventures and stories and meandering. Um, so if you are still with us, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment and tell us what you thought of this episode and anything you'd like us to talk about in the future. But with that, we're going to go into the post show and talk about some other stuff, some exclusive stuff, some maybe less YouTube friendly stuff.
Oh.
Depending on what it is. But until next time, we don't know how to do this.
I'll tell you what we're going to talk about in the post show. We're going to talk about how we can figure out how to do this outro correctly every single time. That's what we'll do.
Exactly. And we are the Huber Rebels, and this has been Game Chat Tonight. My name is Ethan.
My name is Jordan.
Until next time.
Welcome to the rebellion.